This is the one word you can stop saying. And I'll give you two very good reasons, with more reasons underneath that, as to why this word is very, very important to be mindful of, and how it could really sabotage the growth, the development that you want in your relationships, and in just feeling good about yourself. So stay tuned. Hey, it's Allison. Welcome back to the Empowered with Immigrant Parents podcast. I am so thankful that you are here and I get to talk to you for another week. I have been a little MIA on the socials. There's just been a lot going on with some travels, tax season, birthdays, all of that good stuff. So I've been choosing to refocus my energy, and just with different things coming up, I wanted to just really focus on what I want to do. One of the things I must do is really declutter my stuff. There's a bunch of stuff where I'm currently sitting because I need to get rid of these things or figure out where to put them appropriately so that I actually access them. One of the things about me is that I like to handwrite stuff, so I have all these notes and all these books and little scraps of paper with brilliant ideas that never see the light of day after writing them. So I need to figure out what this is about. It's a little bit potentially of like a procrastination, right? If I do the work and then I can't find it, or I don't look at it, then I do the work again, it kind of sets me back a little bit, right? It puts me backwards instead of helping me move forward and just actually doing the thing that I wrote down. So there's something there. Is that you too? Do you do that? Where you just create more work for yourself, and instead of doing actions, like taking the steps of the things that you've already written or whatnot, but then you go back to brainstorming, so then you kind of drag out the process. That's what I'm doing. That's probably it. But anyway, that was not what I wanted to talk about today. But what I want to share today is something that has come up quite a bit in the last month, actually. And probably more than that, but it's standing out to me recently, so I want to share this with you. Why this word is important to not use. It takes away a lot of the power that you actually have, that you have control over, and how we phrase things is so important to how we talk to ourselves and how we think about things. So it's very, very important to be mindful of this word. And of course, you use it in different contexts, so I'll give you some very specific examples that I'm thinking about, and where it takes away a lot of your ability to feel different things and to feel like you have choice. And especially being a child with immigrant parents, a lot of times we don't feel like we have a choice, and a lot of times we don't even know what we're feeling or what we're needing. So this word actually may take away some of that for us, and by removing it, we can create such better communication, such better relationships, better clarity on what it is that we actually want. Okay, so the word is dun dun dun, have. The word is have. Something that I noticed in this past month, is that using the word have, it's not as clear as you would think. So the example me and my husband were talking about is if we tell someone, for example, they come over, you invite them over for lunch, they help you clean up, and you're like, you don't have to clean up. And then they're like, well, no, it's okay. I'll do it. It's okay. It's not a problem. But what you meant to say might have been, don't clean up. I got this. Right? And this kind of happens, for example, with my parents. When they come over, and they've gotten used to it now, which is a whole different story. But when they come over, I tell them, like, you don't have to do this, don't do it, I'll do it. And in a way, it actually serves me, because then if they do it in a way that I don't want to do it, or I don't want it done, then I end up thinking I have more work to do, right? So instead of telling them, you don't have to do it, like I say just leave it, right? But I also talk to them in Vietnamese, so maybe it's a little bit different. But anyway, same context, maybe in English, we'll just use the same example. If your parents come over and then they want to start cleaning up for you, you say, oh, you don't have to do that. They're like, oh, I got it. Or, I clean it better than you. Or, I can do it. Oh, it's okay. I'll do it for you. No problem. It's different than if you were to say, don't clean it, leave it. I got it. Right? So you see how the have wasn't in there, and that actually is more direct. Why this is beneficial is that it actually helps you practice saying what you want instead of what it is that you're implying, or it sounds like you're implying, or you're kind of going around what it is that you want, and then people don't really get the point. And it's a practice of being direct, which especially in the Asian communities, as far as I know, and all the people that I've personally interacted with, it's difficult to do. It's difficult to be direct. You don't want to be offensive. You don't want to be rude or disrespectful. So then you kind of tell people lightly or go around in circles of things that you actually want. That's actually something we've been highlighting with our daughter, and she'll state things that she wants, which is actually different, but she won't ask for it. But we're trying to get her to actually ask for things she wants too, instead of just hinting at them, right? She'll say like, I like cupcakes, I like fish. If you want fish, let's just ask for it. Right? If you give me a question, maybe we'll give you some fish, right? We don't do this all the time, of course, but when there's an opportunity and when it's like not that big of a deal to kind of point that out, we want her to practice actually asking and being more direct of what it is that she wants. And that's the same for you with the word have. So try to get rid of the have when you want people to do something or not do something, right? Instead of telling your kid, you have to clean up, let's just say, come and clean up. That's even more direct, right? And sure, they have to do it, that is true, but sometimes eliminating that, takes away like, but I don't have to, you have to, or like, I don't want to. It's like, well, it's not about wanting or having or needing. We're just gonna clean up. You just need to clean up is what I was gonna say. And it's takes away a little bit of something else that people can focus on, and actually focus on the action that you really want. So when you say don't clean up, they're like, oh, okay, don't clean up. Well, you don't have to clean up, right? There's this idea of, oh, but I have to. Like there may be an internal dialogue even that happens really quickly of like, well, I'm a guest, I have to clean up. What do you mean? In all the subconscious things that happen in our brains might come up, and that might make it really hard to hear what the host is saying, or what it is that they're actually asking of you. So when we are more direct and remove have in this situation, it is much more clear. And it's also okay if you don't know what you want, especially with adults with immigrant parents, and again, not having the practice of sharing our feelings and thinking about what we need, because you may be constantly thinking about what other people need, and you are used to that instead of thinking of your own. You're like managing everyone's emotions. It's really hard to include yourself and your feelings as one of the main reasons, right? If you think about a pie chart, like you're including everybody's emotions in that moment, and that really takes away from you getting to take up space and actually take up more of that pie, and like get 50%, 75% of that pie to really know what it is that you want. So when we have a hard time being direct and being clear about what we want from people or what we need from people, and if we think about it after the fact and then that's when it comes to us, that's also okay. And that's actually even better, right? Like the fact that you even thought about it after and been like, hey, I was really bothered by this thing because when I told them they don't have to do that, they still did it. Next time we'll just say, don't do that, like then we can be like, well, lesson learned. And sometimes we really don't get the experience until things come up for us to learn something from it. So that is really, really important to also know that the reflection and the thinking about the planning for next time after something happens is also really important. So keep that in mind and be kind to yourself, please. The other way that we use have is I have to do this. We don't technically, there are certain things we have to do, but for the most part, especially in relationships, there's not a lot that we actually have to do. And by saying I have to do this, we're taking away a lot of the power and control that we actually have over certain decisions, right? And again, this may not fit for everything, but let's just speak about maybe doing a favor for someone that's really low risk, right? It's not urgent, it's not going to impact anyone's health, it's not, or a party, a birthday, right? We don't have to have a party. We get to have a party. We want to have a party. We are throwing a party for a birthday. So the moment that I say I have to do this, like, well, who said? Like, who told me I have to have a party for a birthday? Right? Myself? Well, then did I want to do it, or what is influencing me to actually throw this party, right? Is it because of perception or fear that I'm not doing enough? Like, where is this coming from when we say the word have? When I have to help my parents, is that true? There are certain things, for example, like I have to help my parents read some of their letters because they can't read English as well as I do. Maybe then I would change it to I need to read this letter for them. And actually, if we really wanted to get really expensive on this, is, well, do I need to do it or can someone else do it? And this goes to a whole other set of questions. But let's say for the sake of this conversation, before I go off for another 15 minutes, is I am the only person that can read this, right? There really isn't anyone else that can do it. And if that were true too, I get it. Especially having immigrant parents, and if there's no one else that you trust, there may be a lot of things that you actually have to do for them. But just for the self-talk and the internal dialogue in your own head, sometimes saying I have to really removes authority, the agency, and just some power that you have over the activity. And it may feel better to say I need to or I get to. Right? As I was planning a birthday party, I was like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. I'm like, well, who said, right? Okay, no, I want this balloon here. I want that thing there. And that feels better. It's like I made that decision. And, a lot of times when we say I have to, it may be coming from a place of worry, a place of fear of what other people think. Am I enough? Am I this? Am I that? And we actually lose the joy and the focus of what it is that we're doing and why we're doing something. So it's so important to relieve yourself of that guilt, right? Like the example that I've shared many times in different podcast episodes that I've been featured on too is when I used to go home after work, once I moved out from my parents' house, just to sit there after an hour of traffic or more, and after a full day of work, to sit there because I felt guilty, and I have to show them that I didn't abandon a family. So I sat there some days not feeling so good, some days even worse than if I hadn't shown up, right? But it was from this place of I have to do it. And it didn't feel good. When I said I wanted to go to my parents' house, I want to see them, it felt so much better. And that is very, very powerful. So if you can think about, or just even notice, right, now that you've listened to this episode and are keeping this in mind, see how your self-talk is. See when you say, I have to do something, and see what that evokes for you. What does that make you feel when you say that? And if it's not such a good emotion, is there another word that you can choose to say, right? And if it doesn't actually get your point across, when you don't want someone to do something, what else can you say to get your point across? So in summary, the two ways that we can be very mindful of this word have is to actually see when we can remove it so that we can, one, be more direct, right, in saying what we want, being more clear and not having people have their own self-talk take over what it is that you're actually saying. And two, you can empower yourself and feel like you actually have a choice and feel a happier, potentially, or at least a neutral emotion for something that you're doing when you actually say, or when you actually replace the word have with something different. I get to, I want to, I am going to, I decided to, right? That's so much more empowering and so much more powerful than, oh, I have to do it. And of course I said it in that tone, so it sounds worse, but see how it feels. Usually it's not that great of a feeling that comes with, I have to do this. So this has been fun to think about because that's something I'm still working on as well, right? Like I talk about so many of these things with my clients in my work, on my Instagram, in my courses, and it's hard. It's hard work when we are so wired to be a certain way, or we're so used to something, and these are just little small subtleties that can make some big changes in the long run. And that's why I'm so passionate about working with adults with immigrant parents, with the layer of expectations, the guilt, being second and first gen, and that's how it impacts us so much more. And if you need more help with this and just want to join a community of other second generation adults with immigrant parents to work through these things that really hold us back from being who we truly want to be and showing up as the best versions of ourselves, join my waitlist. You'll see it in the show notes, or get on my email list. I email you weekly about different stories, tips and tools, and things that can be helpful for just trying to unlock your fullest potential while taking care of your parents and taking care of whatever else it is that you're doing, because you are probably doing a lot and there's so many things happening at the same time. We're like master jugglers, and I wanted to support you in that and have you join if that is something that sounds helpful to you. All right, I will catch you on the next episode. Take care. Bye. Hey, if you found this episode or any other episodes helpful, insightful, relatable so far, get on my email list as well. This is where you would get actionable tips, relatable tools, and it's just a space where you can feel connected and have the support and tools that may be beneficial for you as you're embracing how to unlock your fullest potential as an adult with immigrant parents. So go to heyallisonlee.com/email to get on the email list, and I will talk to you there. The link will be in the show notes as well.